All right, good morning. So, let's continue where we left off. I tried to record this episode yesterday, but I ran into a bit of an issue with some dependencies, or should I say, a single line of code, which I guess you can call a dependency. It was ESLint. We'll get into that. But first, let's talk about Prettier. So I already have this config. Actually, it starts off with just a single quote, and I added these other ones. So you can go ahead and add those to your project. I'm not going to explain what these do. They're pretty intuitive, but I will explain why I like bracket same line. So right now it is false. And if I go to a more complicated component, I'm missing another thing too. So let's see what happens when we format this. Okay, looks good. Let's add Prettier. Go back to, so single attribute per line. True. Save that. Come back over here. Now, you may wonder why we want to do this. So, with Angular, you're looking at applying a lot of attributes to your components, right? So, if they're all on a single line, it can get quite overwhelming. And this is why we want to split them up into these multiple lines. Some people might not like it, but it does make it a little easier to comprehend what's going on at times. And sometimes it can't be helped, but most of the time, it can help you identify which components may be doing a little too much. So that's a little tidbit about single attribute per line. Let's take a look at bracket same line. Let's see what happens when we turn that to true and then reformat. I mean, you might like this, but it's kind of hard for me to see. I rather like it this way, right? Codium, please. This makes it so that I can identify where my starting attribute, starting tag starts and ends. I guess that's entirely preference. Maybe I can include the first take I tried to do for this, but when you are applying these configs, it is very important that you discuss this with the team, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a whole bunch of changes. Like you can see, if I click on the diff, you do not want to make these sweeping changes to an existing repo unless everybody agrees to it. And then you may want to just do a one-time cleanup for the whole project. So let's take a look at how that would work. Prettier. Fix. How do I run Prettier? What? Oh, okay. Yeah, I just got the wrong. I may have to use npx as well. So let's. Okay, so this is if you want to specify those configs inline. I don't think we need to do that. So let's just try this command. Prettier is not recognized. Okay, so let's do npx. All right. So, and if you are going to do this one-time cleanup, make sure it's been agreed upon ahead of time so that you don't run into any major conflicts with your other teammates, because this is going to introduce a lot of changes. But it enforces a bit of consistency within your project. So if you have a more junior developer who doesn't know how to indent or isn't looking out for indentations, it could make your life a little easier, and it can be a one-time task, right? So you don't have to consistently see these things over and over in the various PRs. So I'm going to commit this, but I will move this to false so that I get it my way. And you're probably going to have to make your case if you wanted to set this to true. And same with the other attributes, right? So if you don't like single attribute per line, maybe that is a little too, I don't know, spaced out. I kind of like it this way. It's nice. A note about this override. So previously, in earlier versions of Prettier, and maybe in earlier versions of Angular, I'm pretty sure it's Prettier though, it required you to do this override so that your new control flow syntax would format properly. I'm just gonna try, actually no, it's already been run, but previously it would format it this way. And although this doesn't look too bad, what it would do was if you had a nested property, if you had a nested condition, it would also format it this way. So everything just got jammed up to the left. It was a whole mess. So that's why you see this here, but that seems to have been fixed. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. All right. That will be it for this Prettier episode. Peace.